Hello, women in business.
Hey.
This is Ken Okel. I found us a man, a handsome man.
Ooh.
Oh, and this is Ken. He's an expert in video, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And what is the name of your business, sir?
So, my name of my business is Help with Video. I really tried to rack my brains for something catchy that people could remember. Help with Video is what I came up with.
I think I can remember that.
Definitely.
And so maybe right now what I need is help with video. So women, I know women. I talk to women all the time. You were just saying you went to a big conference and the women were saying, I don't want a video because unlike Judy Jetson, where you have a face that looks perfect with the perfect hair and makeup, women are always worried about that. Please, sir, give us advice. How do we present well if we're on camera or even just face-to-face without a camera?
Yeah, it's always good to be able to do this, whether it's on video, and nowadays the opportunities are fantastic to be able to use video. So I want people to be able to take advantage of this tool and really run with it. So one of the biggest things I would say is a simple term. It's a little techie, but hold on with me. It's called batch process. Basically, it means you do the same thing multiple times. So if it takes you a long time to get ready, to get your hair done, to get the makeup done, for me, it's about 5 minutes. Wake up, shave, hair, somewhat clean shirt.
That's just not fair, is it?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
So I know that it may take a little more time to get ready. So when you've invested that time, don't just record one clip. See if you can think of 2 or 3 that you can do at once. So for instance, I might even try this. And between clips, just change the shirt a little bit or something like that. So you're not having to spend all that time to get everything ready. Another quick tip along those lines. Before you start, do a little test recording.
All right.
To make sure you don't have a little piece of spinach in your teeth or some other little problem with your hair. Sometimes I can even have a flyaway or something.
No, you look perfect.
Well, that's good. That's the but you won't always be there. So we need to make sure that we have that. So that's another quick little tip I could give you just about preparing for the camera. Would you like me to talk a little more about messaging and that type of thing?
Yeah. One of the things that women talk about is that they get nervous about even beginning to think about anything before they even say anything. How do you handle the nerves when a woman's on camera? What do you suggest?
Well, I think all of us feel a certain amount of nerves in our lives. It's natural. It shows you're human. You're alive. So a few things. Think about what people have maybe asked you in the past that they found very interesting. Also, this is a tip that works really well. I will imagine, because often when I'm recording video, it's just me and the camera. There's no one else there. But I will imagine like a friend right by the camera. Maybe we'll even put a picture of them below the lens. And I'll kind of talk to them, but I'll imagine too that they're giving me feedback. So when you're talking to someone, you're telling a funny story or something, they're like, oh yeah, what happened next? Oh, that was cool. So almost imagine that you're saying, well, today I want to talk to you about insurance needs and why you might want to look at a new policy. So imagine someone's out there going, oh, really? Well, that sounds interesting. Tell me more. Now, there's no one there except in your mind, but if there was a person there, you'd be reacting differently than if there was no one there. So you're almost creating a little reality. It's a little bit of acting, but I think it can be an effective way to create that relationship with the camera or with someone else you're talking to for the first time, where you're like, hey, I think I have some information that's going to help them out a lot. They're going to be able to save money, be happier. Why wouldn't they want to listen to me?
So how do I know where to begin? We've got lots of women here in the audience, and one of the things that they always ask is, what do I say? And if we're going to batch it, how long do I talk for? What is the sequence of things? Give us advice, please.
Sure. Can you think of, in your expertise, some of the most frequently asked questions that you have?
Sure.
Write them down and really try to think of a clip being one thought or one big idea per segment. You can do several 3-minute clips instead of one 9-minute clip. The good news is if you're starting out, your energy is going to be a little stronger if it's in shorter little bites, like sound bites and that type of thing. So basically you'd say, well, today I'm going to talk to you about why you need to do this, this, and this. You illustrate those with a few points, and then you're done. You can even tease, hey, next time I'm going to talk to you about this. Again, almost like a conversation you were having someone, or if you were at a party, you might say, oh, I've had some great vacations in the past. And someone might say, oh, tell me about one. You're not going to say, well, let me tell you about my trip to Sweden, my trip to Florida, my trip to Africa. No, someone would be like, whoa, too much. I can't consume all that information at once. So what works a little better is if you give them little bite-sized chunks. Hey, here's a little bit of information on this. So you can kind of write it out. Think about it. It could be this topic, and this topic. I'm going to talk about these supports. And you go from there. You keep it relatively simple. And a quick little tip here. If you're on camera and you're finding yourself struggling, because I don't memorize stuff. I just kind of speak off the cuff. I know topic areas. If I'm having trouble saying it, it's probably too complicated. So my idea is simplify it. How would you talk to a 2-year-old, a friend, someone else? Just try it like that, because odds are you're trying to cram too much in. And it's like if I'm trying to put on a pair of pants and I've just had Thanksgiving dinner, it doesn't fit. So you either get bigger pants or eat a little less. Usually it's a little less painful. Eat a little less.
That makes sense. So what are like the top 3 mistakes that women make when they're trying to present on video?
I think sometimes you're not necessarily talking in your natural voice. You don't have an audience in mind. So you want to make sure that you're relating to a specific person who you might be talking to. What's your best friend? What's your top customer? Have them in your mind. Another thing is, sometimes you may want to do a take, and then you know you got it. Then I say, do one more.
All right.
Because when you're trying to be perfect, you may be a little tense, a little robotic, versus once you've got one, you can say, hey, I'm Ken. Now let's talk. It's a little cheesy, but you get the idea. When you take the pressure off, you can play.
Yes.
And sometimes when you're playing, you're going to find that your range of what you can do is going to be that much better. Final tip I would say, and this is a biggie. This goes back to when I worked in broadcast news. You got to watch yourself.
What does that mean?
That means that when you're done. Yeah. I guess with monitors now you can see yourself. But what I would do after I anchored the news, I would get a legal pad, I would go into an edit bay, and I would watch that newscast, and I would see what I did well and what I did that wasn't good. So I could learn for the next time. This is a painful process.
It is.
But if you really want to get better and get more natural, it's an important one to do.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, we're all going to say goodbye, and we'll get back to the live seminar. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you.